ग्रीन एंजॉय करता है, इनमें भी इंजॉय करता है। इनमें बता रही ग्रीन पानी है, इनमें ब्लू पानी है। राइट इनमें ब्लू पानी।
Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Great.
Good. Welcome to Waterton Lakes National Park. Welcome aboard the Miss Waterton. That's the name of this vessel. And these two yellow markers, we're just rounding off the right. That's where the sandbar is in the Waterton Marina. You can see the different shade or color to the water. We'll see people walking right out to those markers. So it gets very shallow. And we're just making a wide exit out onto the upper Waterton Lake. If you look ahead and off the right as we turn broadside, that's where we're headed today. And I'm going to give a final wind warning. You can see the kite borders out here. It's a bit of a breezy day, so for the folks out back, folks sitting up top, we're heading directly into that south wind. So loose articles of clothing, hats, sunglasses, spearheads, anything like that, hold on. It will be a little bit breezy. The good news is the further south we go, the warmer it's going to get. So the windiest spot on this lake when the south wind is blowing is right here, right where we are, at the base of the hotel. Hotel. The wind picks up speed as it travels down the valley. And this is actually just a typical day for Waterton standards. This isn't too bad at all. We can actually get over 6-foot waves, 6-foot swell on this lake. Winds have been clocked at 180 kilometers per hour. Those are the Cape Force gusts through here. If you look just a little bit behind us off the left, back towards that channel, you see those green and red colored buoys and markers floating. That's the entrance to Mid-Waterton Lake. So there's actually 3 different lakes in this chain. And as I mentioned, we're on the upper lake here today. This is the longest of the 3, about 7 miles, or 11 kilometers from end to end. And this down this lake, we will cross the border today. So everyone has their passports with them today, correct? Not to worry. You won't need passports. And the reason for that, this is the world's first international peace park. So 1932 is when that was established. We can cross that border on the water here today. No questions asked. We can get it out through part of the glacier side of the lake. Is the Miss Waterton, and she's licensed for 120 years. So for the folks currently sitting up there, there's a 425 jackets stored inside there. And this boat is fully equipped with fire-fighting first aid equipment. Zodiac light platforms. You may have noticed those as you've gone on board. Those can each hold 75 passengers. So in the unlikely event we were to sink here this afternoon, we would simply deploy those. We would get everyone safely on board, and then we would just hand out some paddles. We'll continue on with our tour. So we'll get you your money's worth today here one way or another. Not to worry. Very experienced crew. Captain up here at the helm, Captain Steve. He is the longest serving captain in the fleet. So you're an excellent hands here today. Master of ships. And at the much. I'll point out some information, some of the highlights of this valley as we cruise to the border, and then on the way back I'll give you some quiet time, let the scenery do some of the talking out here. As I mentioned, we'll be scanning for wildlife. We'll do a bit of a figure 8 pattern. So right now we're at about the widest section of the upper Waterton Lake, Cameron Bay. This is called. Once we pass this, then we'll start following the shorelines. So that's really your only job today, besides sitting back, relaxing, enjoying the views. If you spot any wildlife, just get our attention, shout it out to the crew here, and we will do our best to slow the boat down. We can maneuver it closer to shore. And there's all sorts of wildlife to be seen out here. Incredible biodiversity in this national park. So 60 different species of mammal inside here. You may have seen some already in the Waterton town site. Mule deer, bighorn sheep. Every single day we see those animals. Just the other day, little black ram came into my yard and was having me do in addition to those, we've got the white-tailed deer, 1,000 head of elk. There's a very healthy elk population here. Moose, bison, mountain goats. We also have grizzly bears, the black bear I mentioned, mountain lions, Canadian lynx, wolves, river otters, beavers. We've seen all of those animals from this boat. Keep your eyes peeled. Some of those, of course, are incredibly rare to spot. It can take a lifetime of living out here just to get a single glimpse. But you never quite know what to expect out here, even for the crew. Always something new to be seen as the valley changes. And that's the mammal species. In terms of birds, 250 different species of birds. Those birds are typically trying to catch fish. So we have 24 different species of fish in this area. 8 different species of reptiles and amphibians. That's all packed within a relatively tiny small park. So Waterton's only about 525 kilometers square. There's a glacier park out ahead of us. On the American side of this ecosystem, glaciers about 10 times the size of Waterton. And then immediately to the west of us is the Academic Kashmir Ridge. And you can keep connecting these parks and protected areas all the way up to Kootenay, Banff, Jasper, Yoho, Mount Robson. So Waterton's just one tiny piece in that vast network of protected wilderness area. This is the crown of the continent. Waterton's unique because this is the place where the mountains meet the prairies. So when you're driving in you go right from those flat fescue prairies into these abrupt jutting mountain peaks. Normally you would encounter foothills. And so that quick change in altitude, that quick change in elevation leads to a lot of different wildlife, a lot of different plant life as well. 1,000 different species of plants grow here. And 600 of those are wildflowers. We're of course past the prime wildflower season. Usually June is the best time to spot the wildflowers, but almost every other week different plants will be blossoming out here. Right now it's the berry season. We've had a bumper crop, tons of berries out in the backcountry. You go on a hike, you're going to see them everywhere. And that's why we're seeing more bears at this time of year, because bears are very active, trying to eat as much as they can before that long winter sleep. And people have been coming out here for thousands of years, seeking out the plants that grow here. So edible plants, medicinal plants, plants that are unique to this area. And the oldest archaeological sites for human habitation in this valley, about 8,000 years. So the Siksika, the Kaina, the Piikani, all members of the Blackfoot Confederacy as well as the Kootenay were some of the major tribes that inhabited this valley. Original Blackfoot name for this valley, Pont-Moxie-Kinnix. That translates roughly to lake within the walls. So very descriptive name for this valley. Looking out ahead of us is almost like a fjord. Just these abrupt jutting peaks. 10 reason it is this shape and look, glaciers. Everything here was carved out by glaciers. So during the time period of the Great Glaciation, only the highest mountain summits around us would have been visible. So massive sheets of ice extending out to the north onto those prairies. And that means in most cases just a few feet off from the shore, you're well over your head in water. So you can see the quick change in water color. And there's a couple of cliffy sections. You could be about 3 feet from a cliff wall in about 100 feet of water. So very dramatic drop off. Average depth on this lake 220 feet or 80 meters. That's average depth. Deep spots halfway down, 487 feet, 150 meters. So this is actually the deepest natural lake in the Canadian Rockies, this one on Waterton. And 4 active glaciers still flow into this lake. So the headwaters are here at the very south end. We won't go quite that far here this afternoon, but that's called the Waterton River, so it drains from south to north. And eventually all of this river valleys will end up in the Hudson's Bay. So we're on the eastern portion of the continental divide, which is the division of watersheds here in North America. And that continental divide actually goes right to the western boundary of this part. You go up to Canada Lake on some boundary or stay here, you will see the continental divide of that divide. And there's a unique mountain not too far from the south end of this lake, Triple Divide Peak it's called. And if you went to the summit of that mountain, in theory, if you were to pour a glass of water on the top, it would drain into 3 different oceans, 3 different watersheds. So that's a unique feature to this area, that Triple Divide. That's along the Lakeshore Trail. So that trail actually connects the town site right to the very south end to the ranger station, Waterton, Montana. So it's about 14 kilometers in length. It just kind of weaves in and out of the bays here along the shoreline, so not too much elevation gain. And what will happen is a lot of one-way hikers, so then they catch a boat ride back from the other end. So you just hike one way. And you do hike on that trail through this recently burned area. So you probably noticed ever since we left the town site, all these trees, the standing deadfall. This is all remnants from the Keenan Mountain wildfire. So 2017 is when that fire blazed through. It started in British Columbia, lightning strike, and then the swell winds here pushed that up the continental divide, and it blazed through this park in a single night. So 80-kilometer winds, fueling, fanning that fire into a raging inferno. You can see just how high it burned up right up to tree line, even over the tops of these mountains. spread out to the north onto the prairie. And I should mention here, forest fires are of course natural. So they are nature's cycle of rebirth and rejuvenation. You can see back behind us that vivid green colored vegetation blossoming up amongst the standing deadfall. And I'd encourage everyone to go for a short walk through one of those areas. Even if you're not into hiking, just walk for 5 minutes. See what's happening for yourselves. You don't have to take my word for it. In some places, trembling aspen trees almost 10 feet in height. So we're growing quickly, and you'll look 3 or 4 feet now. And that's typically one of the first trees that will grow back following a fire. It's the pine. And the wildflowers have been the best we've ever seen that we've been here our whole lives. Just an explosion of color and a lot of those plants producing fruit once again. So saskatoons, huckleberries, thickleberries, wild raspberries and currants. That's bringing the birds and the wildlife back into those recently burned areas. So it's encouraging to see that happening. The forest we're seeing now off the right-hand side, this is a younger forest that all burned in 1935. So it will take many decades for the trees to regrow to that height. If you look across the lake to that far east shore, that's some of the last overgrowth forest in the park here. There's Douglas fir trees on that side of the lake over 600 years old. And probably the oldest tree in this park, the white bark pine, 1,000-year-old trees up in the Alpine. So the inside the park was impacted by that. Just before we boarded this cruise, we were unloading a big group of hikers. That's where they were headed, back in that valley, once rated as Canada's #1 hike. And recently rated by National Geographic as one of the world's most thrilling day hikes. So these hikers pass through that shady old growth forest, and then they go by 4 different waterfalls. The lake is nestled away in a glacial cirque, so a high-hanging valley, and the only way to enter into that lake, you have to climb up a 10-foot steel ladder, scurry through a 60-foot long tunnel, so a natural rock tunnel, and then when you come out the other side of that tunnel, you're standing on a cliff ledge, looking about 600 feet down to the valley floor, and you hold onto a steel cable that they've bolted into the side of that cliff wall to traverse around the ledge and enter into that beautiful alpine lake. So, very adventurous hike, the Crib Lake Trail, and that's the home to some of the unique wildlife out here. Golden eagles, mountain goats, grizzly bears. People have even spotted wolverine up there in that alpine cirque before. Typically the #1 concern for people using those backcountry trails is the wildlife. The bears in particular, they get a bad reputation. And I just want to point out the #1 killer in national parks is actually waterfalls. So people getting too close to the edge trying to get that perfect picture, that's the most dangerous thing out here. The bears, the other predators, they're not out here to get us. This is their home after all. By following just a few simple rules, we can coexist with those animals. So first rule of hiking in bear country is about food and garbage. And once a wild animal gets a taste of human food, they start to associate people as a food source. So they start to actively seek people out, looking out for free and easy handouts. They become habituated, so they start to show signs of aggression, and that's when the problems start. So we just always encourage everyone to never feed the wildlife. If you do see someone else's food or garbage lying around, do us all a favor, pack that out with you. Second rule of hiking in bear country is about making noise. So it's actually been proven by radio collaring and tracking those animals that they will move off the trail if they hear people coming. So they don't want anything to do with us. It's comparable if I were to go to one of your folks' home, I would ring your doorbell first, or I would knock, announce my presence. I wouldn't just barge into your home. That's what you're essentially doing by making the noise. You're alerting those animals to your presence. If you surprise a mother bear with cubs, her first instinct is to protect her cubs. And that's when the aggressive encounters happen. Almost all of those can be reduced and eliminated. So the best method of doing that is your voice, the human voice. That's what bears associate with people. So just hike in groups, talk loudly, give out a hoot or a holler, sing songs. Don't rely on the trinkets though, bear bells, bear whistles. When you go around the backcountry blowing on a high-pitched whistle, you're actually imitating the bottom of the food chain. So animals like squirrels, marmots, rabbits, pikas whistle, and just so everyone knows, bears eat those things. So not a good idea. As far as the bells are concerned, that tiny jingling sound, that's an inorganic noise. Bears don't associate it with people. And studies have actually shown it can spark curiosity in predators. So they may actually go looking to see where that strange jingling noise is coming from. Just use your voice, you won't have any problems.
Your turn naman. Kayo po.
Ay,
Yung na lang.
that U-shaped valley, there's a mountain coming into view, and there's just a few faint patches of snow on it. So those are permanent snowfields that retain snow year-round. But it actually used to be a glacier back there. And it doesn't look like much today. But it was called the Harps Glacier. The defining feature of a glacier is movement. So in order to move, you need critical mass, 20 meters, 60 feet in depth, and then gravity will start to pull that downwards. That's what separates a glacier from a snowfield. And there are 0 glaciers left in Waterton Park. Last I heard, about 22 left in Glacier National